think I heard a bloop. Let me just check and see if we are live, if number 5 is live. Let's see what we look like. If we look alive. Oh, 904. We got 29,904. We just need 96 more people. 96 more people, and I've got my 30,000. That is so exciting. I can't even tell you guys how excited I am about seeing something like that. That is just the cat's meow. Can't believe I did that. I went cat's meow. But that is just awesome. That is just, let me see how that looks. See the top of my head? That's what people want to see first thing in the morning, is the top of my head. They're probably saying, where's your cowboy hat, you sumbitch? How come you're not wearing a cowboy hat? You know, that's what I'd like to know. I'm just hitting a couple of things here and there, as some people are used to, and they say, why does Dave do that? Well, one, it gives everybody a chance to get their notifications, and we build an audience that way, which is really cool. And then some people tell me later, oh, I missed your live video by this, that, and the other thing. And I always tell them, don't worry about that, because you can always leave me comments after the live video, and I'm quite happy to read them and see what's going on. 904. You know what? Oh, boy, do I look fat. Scott Field said, meow. That's funny. That reminds me of Super Troopers. Richard Toker, this is Slick, says morning. And Marcel, gee, I'm finally up to watch your post. Yes, you are, Moose. And we called him Moose because if you ever saw the size of Marcel, well, now that he's an old man, he's my way older brother. He's not the moose that he used to be, but man, he was a force to be reckoned with. He was our moose. Right, Mars? And Janice is there. Good morning, Janice. And Andrea, good morning. And Barry Berwick. Hey, I should see if I can get some of your kids. Barry's here. Barry. No, none of your kids are coming running. I was driving a white truck with a company that Barry was driving before. And whenever I was someplace where there was meadows, all the sheep would come running up going, Dad, 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 looking for him. And I love you, Barry. Oh, and I got magazines for you, Barry. I shouldn't bug Barry, because Barry delivers all your magazines around Edmonton. He used to deliver magazines all the way from Ontario to BC to all over at one time when he was a truck driver. But now he's taken retirement, and he is enjoying his retirement in Edmonton, Alberta. I bet you he's going to get a little itchy sometime, want to go on a truck trip with me, but I don't know. Moose has been in a truck with me, and Slick's been in a truck with me, and I don't know. Talk to them first. You may not want to be in a truck while I'm driving. I try to wake him up all the time by that brr, brr, brr. And he say, can't you stay on the road? No, I'm giving you a nice massage. You know, I bring a friend along with me. I give him a massage. Brr, brr, brr. I one time, just a side story here, I one time was, well, all my life basically a recruiter of sorts, but a recruiter. Don't shoot me now. And I'd got this gentleman, road tested him, did everything else. He was awesome. I was sending him down to Ontario for an orientation. And I sent him with a driver, and the driver was going to let him, we got permission for them to team the load down there. And the driver got all the miles, so he was happy to bring him. But he phones me up and somewhere around Sault Ste. Marie, and he says, I can't believe you hired this guy. I can't believe I hired him either, but why? And they said, well, he's been driving. He must have hit that white line at least 3 times. Okay, so you're telling me that from Winnipeg to Sault Ste. Marie, he touched the white line with a passenger side 3 times. And he says, yeah. I said, Christ, I would have touched it 3 times getting to Falcon Lake. Not that I'm a terrible driver, but I'm sure or I hope I'm not the only guy on here and you're all going to laugh at me, but I don't know how many times that I have touched that rumble strip while I've been driving to give me a little, you're too far over this way, especially when it's windy or when I'm listening to good music and I'm rocking it and stuff like that. It's funny because back before texting was illegal and distracted driving, because I've been using equipment while driving for 40 years now. And yes, I am 61 years old. It's funny, I had a guy the other day, he sent a message to me, private message, PM they call it. And I'd been talking about driving commercially for 40 years. And his comment was, I'd like to see your license that you could drive 40 years at the age you are. The age I am. I wrote back, how old do you think I am? And he says, certainly not old enough to have been driving commercially 40 years. Well, 61 this year, folks, and proud of it. And let me tell you, that's one of our subjects today, besides the bus and that, is health. Health, your beauty sleep. I am so happy to be with PFM, plug, Professional Freight Management, as their long runs, like to Texas, from Winnipeg to Texas. Once I get the load on time, and I know what time the load has to be there on time, now with e-logs, I should have used e-logs as a pound e-log, stuff like that. Anyways, now with e-logs, you can only drive 11 hours in the United States of America, 13 hours in Canada. But in the United States, all you can drive is 11 hours. Then you have to be off your 10 hours. And you've got a 14-hour clock to work with to go for your Walmart walks and pick up a smoke detector and things like that. But so therefore, what I do, and I think what you should do, is work with your nocturnal clock. Nocturnal clock. Your body tells you when you're tired. Now, back in the logbooks and back when we were young and we wanted to go miles, we ran like raped apes. But now with a e-log and with it saying, nope, can't do this, at least most of us on logbooks or e-logs, if you're driving and it's afternoon and you don't have to make a delivery that next day at a certain time, you're not cut for those hours and that. You're on a long trip to Texas or California or Florida or something like that, and you feel tired, pull over like you used to do with logbooks, I used to, and have an hour and a half nap. Have a minimum of 90 minutes. 90 minutes minimum. No such thing as a power 15-minute nap, power 30-minute nap. You know, people talk about that, but guess what? It doesn't reset your clock. Your sleep cycle is 90 minutes, and you need 90 minutes. You have to have 90 minutes. If you wake up before that 90 minutes, folks, you are beat. You're more beat than if you had not had that sleep, because you've interrupted a sleep cycle. A sleep cycle is 90 minutes. So have that 90-minute mark, because guess what? You got 14 hours to work with. So that's 3 hours to play with, 3 hours in which to play with. You know, you got your pre-trips and your fueling and stuff like that. But if you roll your pre-trip and fueling into your morning like I do, then you've got you got 3.5 hours or whatever. Okay, an hour and a half, boom, gone for a nice afternoon nap. And you got 2 hours left still for your lunch or Walmart walk and stuff like that. So you use your clock. You drive your 11 hours, and stay with me, folks, because you may think this sounds like common sense, but a lot of people don't. When you go to bed at night in the bunk, you turn your truck off, your e-log thing will go to sleep. Even if they send a message, it won't go bleep because it's gone to sleep. And put your phones on silent. Don't set an alarm, anything else. Go to sleep, and when you go to sleep, your body will tell you when it's time to wake up. Your body will tell you when it has refreshed everything, regenerated everything, fought diseases in your body and everything else. Your body will tell you that. Then it's time to get up, get at her, and away you go. When you get tired, and usually it's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, because that's the nocturnal cycle for human beings. Usually around 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you're going to get tired again. Take that hour and a half nap. take your vitamin D, take some multivitamins, and take some ester C. Ester C. But you need the vitamin D. I mean, there's lots of sunshine, but still take your vitamin D anyways, because that helps all the vitamins, minerals, irons, everything you get out of food in that. You need vitamin D. You need the sun in order to digest that into your system to fight all the bad things that we take into our body. So although I may sound like your mother right now and stuff like that, I used to train this. I used to tell people this. This is knowledge that I have that I want to pass on to people because it will make you healthy, wealthy, and wise. Well, maybe not wealthy because we're in trucking. But the key thing is, folks, is to let people know that you have to let your body get rest. Now, with the logbooks, I know Slicks ran with me and stuff like that in past years. We ran like apes, but I got my sleep. When I was tired, I went to sleep. You know, and it's incredible how much you can go at times. We've driven over 20 hours. Did I say that out loud? Sure, because it's not an offense anymore. It's too long ago. But we drove over 20 hours and that before with the logbooks and that. We'd get a load in Winnipeg and bang her down to Laredo so we could get down there to play and have a weekend, unload Monday, boom, away we go. But we also got our sleep and we got our rest in between and had some good times. Well, I just want to say to people, there's no such thing as a load being late. The load gets there safe and sound right behind the driver, and you're the most important cargo in that truck is you. Everything else doesn't matter. The truck, the load, everything else, unless you're safe and sound. Because unless you're safe and you're in control of things and you're well rested, that load isn't going to get there anyways, because mistakes can happen. So sorry to sound like a broken record, but really, turn off your phones. I try not to. I'm afraid to call people. I have so many people I want to call at times, and I'm afraid to call them because I don't know if they're sleeping and they don't shut off their phones, and I don't want to phone them and wake them up in the middle of a sleep cycle and me be the asshole that ruined a sleep cycle for them. Or maybe they ran all night and they're sleeping during the day. I don't know. So quite often I'll text first, but even a text will wake somebody up. Yeah, I was sleeping. Geez, I'm an idiot. You know, can I call you? So that's my rant on that. The bus I want to talk about, I don't know if everybody's heard about that school bus that went across all those lanes and got hit by a truck, a tractor trailer. And, you know, the big thing was a truck hit a school bus, a truck hit a school bus. How come whenever the news comes on, when a truck's involved with an accident, it's the trucker's fault? When 99% of the times, 99% of the times, it's not the truck's fault. Statistics have been done by everybody. The FMCSA did one, and they went to the lean side. They went to 80% of accidents involved with a truck is the other four-wheeler's fault, not the trucker's fault. 80% of accidents with truck and other vehicles is the other vehicle's fault. Well, same with these bus accidents and that. Everybody jumps to, it's the trucker, it's the trucker, the trucker. Guess what? It's not the trucker. It's not the trucker. And in this case, with this bus, what an a-hole. Why did they have him behind the wheel? This guy's license had been suspended 5 times. He'd just come back from suspended licensing. He'd had multiple infractions and safety infractions. So bad. You know how hard it is to suspend a license in the United States of America? Their licenses are like, they feel like they're a God-given right. And his license had been suspended that many times, and he was driving a school bus full of kids and then went across all those lanes and unfortunately got struck by the trucker, because the trucker, boom, he was in front of him. Wham! You know, so keep that in mind all the time. When you hear people talking about, oh, that truck driver, he was only had 2 months experience, or that truck driver this, or that new truck driver, guess what? The majority of the time, it's not the trucker's fault. Even if he only has a few months experience, he's probably already driven 30,000 miles or whatever, which is more miles than the four-wheelers driven in a year. Probably in his lifetime for some four-wheelers that just commute. think about that. Think about how many miles you drive in a month. In a month, you can drive as many miles as some of them drive in a lifetime. Never mind in a year, never mind in a career. It's crazy. I'm just going to take a look here with my fancy glasses here, my cheap glasses, see what say people here. Wow, there's some comments here. Let me see. Janice, I said good morning. Andrea, I said good morning. Marcel, you're older. Charles, aren't you going east? Kevin McMahon's. Brian Mack is there. And Chucky said, good morning, Dave. Good morning, Chucky. And Brian says, I love your hair. Geez, my hair looks interesting, doesn't it? I don't have my hat on. I should open the window here for a sec just to get some air in here. Maybe I'll start up this, get my water warmed up here a bit too, so I can roll. Barry, here goes calling you, Dave. And Marcel, oh, you force us to haul your purchases like barbecues. That's right. I threw a giant barbecue into Marcel's truck. Oh my God, it was huge. I got it for $100 on sale, a $500 barbecue on clearance last fall. And Mars and I were jumping into his truck and he came to get me. And what the heck is that? Never mind my go bag, but I got a big barbecue. I bought it in Kansas, and Marcel was nice enough to pick me up there. Sean Rose says, good morning, Dave. North Battleford, plus 20. Nice. Yeah, it's 25 here in Grand Forks. It's cooking. That's why I put the things. Marcel says, a police car is still a commercial vehicle. You bet you, Moose. You bet you. The Popo vehicles, the police cars we drove, were commercial vehicles. And Chucky says, I drove with you. Always drove on the rumble stick, Dave. You want a driver? Barry's not that hard up to go in a truck with you. So Barry, Chucky says he'll take you for a ride. I'll have to road test Chucky again anyways, because I don't know. And Marcel says, I'm always tired. Yes, you are, Marcel, now. And hopefully you're feeling better soon. We're all with Marcel, that's for sure. But what if a Swift driver hits your truck and says, stay sleeping, you're yeah, no kidding, eh? I wonder if there's any Swift trucks around. Fortunately, I'm in North Dakota. You don't see too many Swift trucks around here, but I've seen more and more in the north there. Will Bird, good morning, Will Bird. How are you doing? Mike is there. Good morning, Mike. Kevin Hildebrandt, hello. How are you doing, Kevin? And Scott says, we're not perfect, but we're learning. You're right. And Matthew is there. LaJoy? I hopefully I said that right, Matthew. I apologize if I screwed up your name, because some mornings I can screw up the Lord's Prayer. Most times. Well, folks, I just want to say good morning. I want to talk about sleep. It's very important. A lot of people forget about it. You know what? If you're doing short haul and stuff like that and dedicated run and it's killing you, get off it. Come over to PFM. They got 3 trucks sitting there. Do long haul to Texas. Once you get your load on time, you're on your time till you make it on time to where you're going. So shut off your phones. You got 3 days to do what you want. You're the captain. You're the pilot. You do what you want. You drive the way you want. If weather's bad, you stop. You are the pilot, because guess what? No matter what a dispatch or anybody else tells you, if you get into a wreck or you go off the road or you have God forbid, an accident, you're the one who's getting the ticket and you're the one who's on the grill. So you're the pilot of the vehicle. Pilot that vehicle what your body tells you and your mind tells you. And sleep. I did. I shut off my phones last night. I had a good sleep. I'm going to get cooking now. And I'm going to have my load on time. I'm not sure what the time I'm supposed to have the load there, but it'll be there right behind me. As soon as I get there, the load will be right behind me, guaranteed. Other than that, everybody be safe out there. I would rather hear from you than about you. And if you're watching this later on, you didn't get to see it live, still leave me a comment. I'll say hello and good morning or good afternoon or whatever time it is. But I will be happy to hear from you than about you. you can take that to the bank, keep on trucking. Thank you, friends. Let's hit 30,000. Invite your friends, 98 more I need, and we will be there. And be square. They're finally fixing up this Flying J, folks. I think we all complained enough about how these fuel aisles stink on ice.